Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this Netflix review. The fact that you are willing to sacrifice a few minutes out of your day to watch my content really does mean the world to me. For those of you that are unaware, I review everything that gets released on Netflix. So if you're ever curious about whether something is good, bad, or completely mediocre, come to my channel and I will let you know. And today we're going to be talking about the new Netflix movie, Good on Paper, starring Iliza Shlesinger. And I just have to say, as a YouTube reviewer, there's nothing more stressful than trying to say an actor or director's name correctly when you just feel like you're going to butcher 24/7. So I really hope I said her name correctly. But ultimately, this movie's been marketed as mostly based on a true story. And when you watch this movie, you realize how scary of a concept that is. Anyway, we get Andrea Singer, who basically is portrayed by Iliza Shlesinger. She's also the screenplay writer for this movie, so she did a lot in regards to this film. Anyway, the film is about Andrea Singer, and she meets this guy, and they ultimately begin to build a friendship, and that friendship ends up developing into something else. So ultimately, the crux of the film is based around this relationship, as well as Andrea Singer trying to establish herself as a force in the entertainment industry. She's got a reasonably successful stand-up career, and now she's trying to break out into acting. So we've got these two primary storylines, her career and her personal relationships. And that's what this film is about. So straight off the bat, I'm just going to tackle this. This film is promoted as a romantic comedy. The ending is unlike any romantic comedy I've ever watched. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I thought this was just going to be another one of those romantic comedy films that I watch where it blips right off the radar. I forget about it after a day. And that's it. It doesn't have anything deep to say. It doesn't have anything important to say. It's just there to waste time. And this wasn't one of those films. It tackles some incredibly deep themes, especially how women are portrayed in modern day society in regards to their importance in relationships. Like, this film had a lot to say. In fact, Andrea has an entire monologue at the end about how women are more than just what they're supposed to be in relationships and how people perceive them and the way they act in relationships. And I thought that was incredible, that this film was bold enough to say, nah, we're done with that. Like, women are real people, and I really appreciated that in this film. So talking about the themes tackled, let's actually talk about the characters. Do these characters actually tackle these themes effectively, or do we just have a bunch of paperweights? No, these characters are really well established, believable, likable, and when you need to hate characters, you hate them as well. These characters were really well written, and the performances also really brought them to life. I have to say, all in all, this was a great film where everything just seemed to work together perfectly. And I was very happy about that. I don't remember the last time I've been so surprised by a Netflix property. I went in expecting to find this to be an average movie at best, or more realistically, that I'd really just not enjoy it, that I find it to be miserable. And I was so gratefully surprised that I actually enjoyed this movie. And when it ended, I was a little bit disappointed. I wanted to know, no, what happens next? Like, this film doesn't lend itself to a sequel in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to a sequel because this is a very self-contained movie and it doesn't need a sequel. But if we saw these characters in another story, I wouldn't be disappointed. They were really enjoyable characters and I really enjoyed my time with them. And also the title, this is such a weird one for me. But the title, Good on Paper, makes so much sense when you finally finished the movie. And I remember going, that was a good title for the movie, actually. And I know that sounds so dumb, but I've been watching so many Netflix properties where the title has nothing to do with the story. How difficult is it to just give a story a good title? And this movie actually did it, so I know that's so dumb. I know it's dumb, but I actually enjoyed that. Then we get a little bit to the things that maybe weren't as great as everything else. I will say this, there was nothing about this film that I can say, this was bad. But there were other things that weren't as outstanding as the rest of the elements of the film. For example, the cinematography was shot as a film. And I know that sounds like a dumb thing to say, but there was nothing experimental or exciting about how this film was filmed. It was just filmed the way it needed to be. If there needed to be a medium shot, there was medium shots. If there needed to be a close-up, there was a close-up. But there was never anything too exciting that made me go, whew! Now that was filmed beautifully. That was filmed amazingly. So this film was just filmed as any other film should be filmed. And so it's like soup. It's there, you can eat it, you can enjoy it, but you're not going to write home about it. And so guys, that's my review. I had to try and find something bad about this film because actually it is a really, really enjoyable experience. This was also one of those movies where you're being fed a story from a female perspective, but you're never once told like, oh, we're strong, independent females and we're the best. And it doesn't feel like this film is forcing down the feminist political agenda, which I really, really enjoyed. This was just a film with well-written characters and strong female characters that you can enjoy. We need more films like this where they just give us female characters that we can enjoy and we're not being told, you have to enjoy this character. That's just my opinion about it. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. You're awesome. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and I hope to see you again in another review.